So, good evening, everyone. Welcome again. Since my first live streaming interview, I decided to up my game and get a bit more aesthetic going on here. So, I hope you all appreciate that. The reason for this live stream this evening is to interview one of the other co-organisers. I did originally want to interview both of them when I interviewed Chris, but unfortunately Mitch was poorly. So I managed to twist him arm and get him to come on here on a separate occasion, which actually I think is quite a good thing, because I think you've got a slightly different perspective from Chris, and so you can maybe give us a bit more background as to what's happening in terms of organising this event from your perspective. So for anyone who doesn't know, the event we're talking about is the Bitcoin Fest, which is coming up on the 6th of April at Carlton Football Club in Nottingham. We're all very excited. It's being kind of organised as a group effort, really, with the Nottingham Bitcoin meetup. But I'd say you and Chris have really kind of taken the bull by the horns in terms of organising it, sorting out the venue, organising the speakers. So we'll get into the organisation of the conference in just a minute, but just to start and introduce ourselves, what actually got you interested in Bitcoin to begin with?
Sure. Thank you for having me, Victoria. And yeah, you've done a fantastic job with the design. It looks great. So well done. And very on point. I first heard of Bitcoin actually in 2013. So it's quite a long time ago. I was working at a digital marketing agency in Nottingham city centre, and some of my colleagues there were talking about it. And at the time, it was one of those where it sounds great, but I was saving for a mortgage and paying rent and everything else that you do in life, and it wasn't an opportunity that I took then.
Right.
Regrettably, retrospectively, certainly. I got into it kind of properly in 2017, and that was thanks to our co-organizer Chris.
Okay.
We've been friends for quite a while, and he started talking to me about it in the pub where most good conversations happen. And that piques my interest, and it all started from there. During COVID and all the lockdowns, I had a bit more time. So, around 2021, that's when I started really digging a little bit deeper and learning a little bit more and going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really, with all that time on our hands and only access to the internet, I mean, if you didn't find out about Bitcoin, it's like, where were you? So,
it definitely lends itself to plenty of extra time for reading.
Absolutely. Excellent. So well done you. So can you tell me a little bit about where the inspiration came from to organise this event at Carlton Football Club? I mean, for the viewers who don't know, we used to have our Nottingham meetup in various pubs around Nottingham, but recently we've kind of located to the club because the club have very kindly offered to host us. But yeah, I'll pass it on to you, Mitch. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So we started kind of going to, when I say we, it was me and my wife, Jan. We started going to the Nottingham Bitcoin meetup and seeing what was going on there. And we just thought it was a great thing that was starting to grow. And talking to Chris one day, I thought, it'd be great to maybe get someone like a local football club on board and a venue of somewhere that we can maybe look to grow this a little bit further. The venue we had before was great, but it didn't have great parking, and importantly, it didn't accept Bitcoin at the bar. So we thought if we could get a venue where we can bring maybe more people together, good parking, easily accessible, and good facilities in general, then it would hopefully help bring more people to the party. And it's kind of all led from there, really. We had an opportunity to speak with the football club. It was around about April last year, and they actually had a large electricity bill come through, which was a lot bigger than expected, and were calling out for people to help with funding and help getting more money into the club. And I'd actually wanted to speak to them about Bitcoin for a couple of years, as we're now into our third season of sponsoring the bar at the club through one of our other businesses. Right. And it was one of those. Obviously I've been in the space for a while, and I've lurked quite a long time, and I'm just waiting for an opportunity to have that conversation, and that kind of sparked the situation and created a bit of a catalyst for me to go to Mick, the chairman, and and Gary Boatsy, who's one of the commercial guys there on the board. And me and Chris went along and we sold the idea of Bitcoin and what it could do for the club, what we envisaged, what we could do to help grow not just the status of the club, but the status of Bitcoin within the local community.
Yeah.
And it's all kind of fit together nicely there. And it's grown from Bitcoin Nottingham into something where we thought, well, why not try and get an event on an actual match day? So we've got the crowd there as well as the normal meetup attendees. And that's where it started snowballing, really.
Okay, so all these ideas started to come together. And how have the football club found the interest in Bitcoin? Because I know sometimes we turn up and they're like, who are these guys? So I know some people are more engaged with it than others, but from the perspective of the main organisers of the club, has it been a positive thing for them?
It's been a massively positive thing for the club. They are a small club in the grand scheme of things. They're a not-for-profit, community-orientated local football team. So they are in the English Football League as well. They're in the 7th League of English football, Step 7. And they were just very encouraged by any additional means of being able to bring people to the ground and get eyes on the club as a mutual benefit of accepting Bitcoin and then creating that growth in both ways.
Yeah, fantastic. I can imagine that because I'd never been to that venue before. So you can get people with very different interests together. It's a great way to benefit both organizations, really. So it sounds great.
But going back to what you were saying about the reception, we have had a couple of people going, "Oh, Bitcoin, what's that?" But it's a cross section of society at the moment. I think if you talk to any group of people, you're going to be having that reaction. You're going to have some people who are really positive, some people who are really negative, and obviously you're like in between who are curious and just want to try and learn a little bit more.
Yeah. No, I think it's great, and you're absolutely right. There's a real range of knowledge in the population. So for us to visit a venue where it's completely unknown to them, there's some synergy there. It's like I don't think I've ever been to a live football match, so this will probably be the first time. So people with very different interests, kind of converging in the same place. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
So I think when we spoke to Chris, we were talking about the fact that the way in which we've organised it, I think there are 6 speakers in the morning, and then I think there's a bit of a break. And then, did you say you've got a special guest who's coming?
We've got a very special guest who's coming. For my sins, I'm a lifelong Nottingham Forest supporter. So I'm the one who's into football in Bitcoin Nottingham. I think I might be the only one, but we'll see how that pans out in the future. He'll be well known by Forest fans. He is the former player, manager, and chairman of Nottingham Forest, who won 2 European Cups. No other than Frank Clark. And I was talking to Boatsy and Mick a couple of weeks ago, and they said, we really want to try and get a big name and try and draw more people from different means to the club on that day. And they've certainly delivered. I can't think of many bigger names who are around at the moment in Nottingham, and especially related to football.
Fantastic. And is he going to be giving a talk at an event? Is there any plan for how he's going to involve himself in the day?
He is. He'll be giving the usual pre-game talk. So he'll have a section of time, I think around about 2:30 to 3:15, around about that time. He'll relay a couple of stories about the famous days of Forest, which were sadly before my time. But I'm sure there's some fantastic stories that he'll be reeling off about Cloughie and the other people who were involved around that time.
Yeah, we'll have to try and catch that on the live stream as well for all those who can't make it in person, and we'll hopefully be watching it through this, because this is why we're doing this. We're planning to live stream the event as well. So this is partly what we want to do with these interviews. We need some more subscribers. So, please, if you've seen this for the first time, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That really helps us out. And, share it with people. Let them know that this is an event that's coming up. I see from our local chat that you and Chris are going around putting up posters around the Nottingham pubs and local businesses, and they're responding very favourably. So we're trying to capture all the different ways in which we can attract people's attention. And I think it's 500 tickets available altogether, but 100 VIP tickets. How many VIP tickets have been sold so far?
We have sold around about 75% of them so far.
Wow,
so,
that's amazing.
Well, actually, sorry, a little less than that. It's around about 70%. So they're going quick, considering we've still got 4 weeks or so left, 3.5 weeks, I think now. So hopefully we'll get those last ones snapped up. But there's quite a few people who've also bought the free tickets as well. So we should see well over 3 figures there, including hopefully a couple of hundreds of the football supporters coming down for the game as well. So it should be a busy day down there at the Bill Stokeld Stadium.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. So if you are local and you want to come on, there is a link in the description of this video that takes you straight to the place where you can buy to get hold of a ticket. So if you go for a VIP ticket, you need to get a general ticket and the VIP ticket, just so it includes both, just so we can keep track of the numbers. And the VIPs are being treated extremely well at this event. You know, the goodie bags are just getting more and more valuable. So the VIP tickets, I think, are just £5, but I think already the goodies in the bags are coming to about £20. So, you know, the VIP tickets are getting an extra special deal. And of course, the VIP tickets give you access to the bar where you'll be able to hear the speakers directly. But if you can't hear the speakers directly, hopefully the live stream will enable people to hear what's going on, even if you're outside. Fantastic. So so I think I can probably safely assume that it's is it Frank Clark that's going to be the highlight of your day, the thing you're looking forward to most?
Non-Bitcoin related, certainly. But you know, I always love a Carlton game as well, so I will be paying attention to the match probably more than a lot of other people down there during that time. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing all the speakers down there. I've not been to any actual events myself where there's been talks other than the local meetup, so it's something new for me as well, which is quite exciting. I'm sure there's going to be plenty to learn and lots of people to meet and lots of interesting things to go on with the day.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I think you and Chris are just doing a terrific job getting everything organized. So thank you so much for your efforts. I think that's all the questions I have for today. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention before we go?
Nothing in particular, but like I say, we're running low on the VIP tickets. There's going to be more than £20 worth of goodie bag contents in there. You also get the access to the football match, which is normally a tenner, and you get your lunch in there as well, which is a breakfast cob and a drink, as well as a guaranteed seat. So if you need a better reason to spend a £5, well, you know, give it to me there, you know.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, it sounds amazing. I know for myself, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really enjoying being part of helping put everything together. You know, I think we've got a great team in the Nottingham meetup, and so you know, everyone kind of doing the little bit that they can to contribute. I think it's going to be a great event. So really looking forward to it. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up the interview there. Thank you so much for your time this evening to help let everyone know a little bit more about this event. And
my pleasure, Victoria. Thank you.
You're welcome. And so I'll see you there, and we'll see you later, everyone. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.